hey, let's get immediately into the point of the video and help you out with the crash on RPCS3 when it comes to Sonic Unleashed crashing the whole emulator after the company logos and the engine logos right before the main menu. What you want to do is disable the thread scheduler. It has been the main cause of this crash when specifically using LLVM as the recompiler, the PPU decoder. If you're using the interpreter, fast or precise, it doesn't seem to actually cause a crash. But you actually want to be using the LLVM recompiler because it's actually the best one. It offers the best performance. So disable the thread scheduler and you'll be good with that crash. Also, the multi-threaded RSX option here in the GPU window, that as well can cause that issue to appear. So keep that disabled as well. After you've done this, there is a small possibility that the crash will appear again, but you just need to restart RPCS3 and then boot the game. And every time that you change some settings that I'll discuss a bit later on my observations part of this video, every time you change a setting and launch the game, there is a very good chance that you will crash at that same point. Just let the emulator crash and close, and then relaunch it, and the game should work. It was an easy observation really to see that this was causing the problem. Of course, just going one by one on the settings and disabling them, of course. But yeah, if the thread scheduler is on, the crash will continuously appear. The game will crash again and again. Disabling that and as I said, the multi-threaded RSX fixed the problem for me. I have an AMD Ryzen system, a Ryzen 5 2600 and an Nvidia GeForce GTX 1660 Ti. I hope that it does fix this problem to most of the systems that well, you guys have and are going to be using RPCS3. So yeah, that's it. That's the observation that I made. I seriously hope it helped you. And let's get into the fun stuff, the observations that I have made when fiddling around with the settings and trying to get the best performance. Right now, as I have the settings that I'll show you, I sort of basically get PS3 levels of performance, really. You know, the frame rate is sometimes okay, sometimes, you know, it lags a bit. You know, definitely a better system would perform much better. And if any of you guys that watch this video have a modern AMD system, the newest Ryzen processors at the time are like the Ryzen 5000 series, correct? Because they skipped the 4000 ones. As far as I've seen from benchmarks, they have great single-threaded performance. So can you please try to play Sonic Unleashed or even just use RPCS3 and actually comment down below how well it performs? I haven't visited any forums or anything, so I would like to know how the newest chips that seem to be extremely good at gaming with single-threaded performance work on an emulator like this. So, alright then, let's check the settings and I'll tell you my observations. So, the PPU decoder, the LLVM, best one is pretty simple why, and the SPU decoder as well, LLVM, works. You may see some crashes here and there, but they're actually very not random. They're just they don't appear often. My game that I played on as you can see, time played 3 hours and 42 minutes. I mean, that's also testing, but I did play quite a lot of the game, like 1 to 2 hours of the game. No crash whatsoever. This was done on a base resolution, so 720p. When I changed to 1440p to just see how beautiful the game would be, I did crash after 10-20 minutes I think of playing. which was interesting. So maybe leaving the game to the base resolution helps with crashes, but I don't think so. I think 1080p is fine. We'll talk about the resolution just a bit in a bit. As I said, thread scheduler, leave it off so that you avoid crashing when using the LLVM decoder. Performance is negligible. Lower SPU thread priority, negligible. On or off, it's nothing really. SPU loop detection, leave it on. And SPU cache, definitely leave it on because it's needed. It's needed so that the emulator uses the shader cache and, well, it works, the game goes smoothly. Accurate XFloat, doesn't matter. I haven't seen anything much in terms of performance being dropped. TSX instructions, can't check. I don't have an Intel CPU. I think this is only supported on Intel CPUs. SPU block size, I would actually tell you to change this to mega. Going from safe to mega, I actually saw quite a bit of a performance boost. Don't know about size, as the description says. This may increase size of like shaders and such, compiled units as it says. I haven't noticed anything actually, not much. I mean, I haven't like compiled all of the shaders of the game, but haven't noticed much in changing on my hard drive. You mostly likely see a change in loading when you boot the game, not in loading times inside the game. Mostly when you like launch the game from the emulator. But actually, yeah, keep this on mega. You'll see an okay performance boost compared to safe. That's what I saw. Most likely Giga will actually like give maybe more performance, but mega is the balance, the middle option. So keeping it there seemed to be the best option. Preferred SPU threads, keep this to auto, but this thing was very interesting to toy with. Every odd number that I chose was fine. Every even number caused a crash. So the crash that I talked about, the crash that was caused by the thread scheduler, it would also happen when this was set to an even number. So 2, 4, and 6 seemed to cause the crash, and it was very interesting. While 1, 3, and 5 didn't like cause a crash. 5 actually seemed to be the better thing, but keep this on auto. 1 was actually terribly bad, and 3 was just normal. 5 was again normal to okay. Didn't see much in terms of performance difference, so leaving this on auto is fine, is the best option. Moving on to GPU, renderer, Vulkan or OpenGL didn't seem to change much actually, but I would suggest keeping this to Vulkan really. Aspect ratio, whatever you want, and anisotropic filtering, 16 times. Actually, the things here, the GPU window, unless you have a pretty weak GPU, this won't matter at all in terms of performance. Anisotropic filtering, just max it out. Frame limit, I mean whatever you want, it's the frame limit. Anti-aliasing, just go on auto. Resolution, go nuts. Go nuts. You can literally set this to 800%. There is a possibility you won't see a difference when it comes to performance. Like I set this default resolution to the lowest. I set this to 50%, and the performance was actually the same. No difference whatsoever in Sonic Unleashed. So you can run this at 4K, 1440p. You're gonna get the same stuff, the same performance. So I've left this on 1080p. Need to do some more testing. Someone in a forum thread said that 1080p for some reason was smoother than 720p. So that is, I did a bit of testing, didn't see a change. So again, choose the resolution you most likely have, or leave it on 720p, which is the thing I kind of recommend. as I mentioned, for some reason, changing the resolution mostly to higher values sometimes causes the game to crash, to completely crash. Don't know why. So yeah, 720p is the safest option, but increasing the resolution doesn't hurt your performance. Just watch out for crashes. That's it. And that's that. Shader mode, either async or async with shader interpreter, both gave the same performance. Like, just get the async with shader interpreter. It's fine. Just fine. This as well on auto. Just on auto. I haven't toyed a lot with this, but when I did change to random numbers, didn't notice anything. Leave this on auto. This stuff, leave it all disabled, doesn't change anything. I mean, VSync is VSync, no 3D or stretch the display area. That's like, you know, mostly visual stuff. But nothing out of this changed performance, and that goes along with every single other tab here. I could not find anything else that would change the performance of the game. That's it, unfortunately. Those are the observations that I have made when I like toyed with the settings for like hours. I'm talking hours of going through everything and just trying to see what would give me the best performance. Well, the thing that will get me better performance is, of course, a better system. You know, that's the only thing that will net you better performance for this emulator. And mostly a better CPU, the best one that you can get. GPU, again, a middle of the road GPU, like even I would guess like a 1650 Super could easily run the game exactly like my 1660 Ti or even like a 2080, 3080 will run it, because it doesn't really change much. The CPU is everything. I would have Task Manager open on my other monitor, and it would like I would like see the CPU 70% and GPU on 9%, doing literally nothing. But yeah, those are my observations. Once again, thread scheduler, keep this off if you're using the LLVM decoder and the SPU decoder LLVM once again, because it will cause the crash before the menu pops up. That's it. Thank you. You know, comment down below any other observations that you have made, maybe some suggestions for other people to improve their performance. And to be honest, I hope the best to the development of this emulator, so that we can get Sonic Unleashed to you know, be playable on a PC. I tried the Xbox 360 version of the game using the emulator called Xenia or Xenia. I think it's Xenia. The game runs smooth as fuck, but it's unplayable. Completely unplayable, because there are vertex explosions, which are like polygons and textures going nuts, like causing an absolute mayhem of stuff on your screen. The problem, like, you could play with those, you know, your visibility would be trash, but unfortunately it isn't only a visual thing, it's also it also causes the game to just freeze. You can't do anything. The UI works for some reason, but you can't do anything. Black screen, kaput. You can get a 100% save file for that emulator and play some of the stages. Don't know exactly which ones, but yeah, I also did try to like fiddle around with every single setting on Xenia. Literally wasted 3 hours and plus trying to somehow cause the vertex explosion to either disappear or like just be visual and not cause the black screen freeze. Couldn't get it to work. So that's unfortunate, but I hope I helped you guys with the crash and maybe some performance. You know, you got a performance boost by looking at my settings. But that will be it. See you guys, and yeah, bye bye.